through times when we struggled. I was a primary school teacher. I was absolutely phobic about public speaking. I left my job to have kids so that I could get out of it. I've had a husband to get out of public speaking. However, I soon learned that the more you run away from things, actually, the worse it gets. And 3 decades later, I became a head teacher of a secondary school, and then I've been doing all this public speaking. So actually, what I learned was how to manage this, how to manage my thinking so that I could think in different ways. And Ian talked a lot about mental models and how we have a mental model that runs unconsciously and actually drives a lot of our limiting beliefs and the way we see the world. And I suppose if you start seeing struggle as growth, whatever you come up against is suddenly a fantastic opportunity. And of course we know now that metacognition is the magic. To me, it's the magic for being able to change your thinking. So I want to talk a little bit about that for my brief time with you today. I want to look into your heads to start off with, though. I want you to look inside your head and ask yourself the state of your head at the moment, your mind, your mood. What mood are you in? If 10 out of 10 was ecstatic and 5 was sort of okay, think of a number that represents the state of your mind at this moment. Okay, got that? Now you've got a 30-second challenge. You're going to turn to the person next to you and you're going to put them in the better mood, push their number up. Off you go, 30 seconds, off you go. Don't we? We all have a sort of a place we go to in our minds when we're not even thinking about it. So I just want you to, and that's sort of the way we see the world. So I've got those little specks up there. Because it depends how you're seeing the world, how you're going to feel. Because actually, what creates your feeling absolutely is your thinking. Don't take my word for it. Your thinking creates your feelings. You have to think to feel. So, what I want you to do now is just think, what is it that puts you in a great mood? Just talk to the person next to you about the things that really sort of annoy and upset you. And I'm not going to ask you to do that because we've only got such a short time together. But I guess they might be things like this. Things like, lack of funds, political interference, all the stuff, maybe teacher recruitment is a problem, testing, poverty, Ofsted, social, whatever it is, there's all this stuff going on out there in the world. There's stuff that annoys us, upsets us, true? Now the problem is that when we see it like that all this stuff is going on, guess what? You can't change it, so you feel powerless. And actually, when you feel powerless, that leads to insecurity, mental health issues, anxiety. It's all about, can I change this? Can I do something about this? But the interesting thing about all of those things is actually this. The one thing you can change is the way you see these things. And one school will have an attitude, or one teacher or one person will have an attitude to something like neglectful parents, and we'll think about it in one way and respond in one way to it, and another one will see it as an opportunity to really make the difference to these children. So it could be that in your particular school, the Ofsted coming in, for example, is seen as a fantastic opportunity to show off what we're doing, get some really good CPD, and move ourselves on. That could be the way you see it. Or you could see it as a threat, and oh God, we're going to find things out about us, and we're going to be judged, and it's going to make us all miserable and tense and anxious. Guess who performs best? Guess who performs best? What attitude, what mindset means you're going to perform the best?